Hey, it's Tom here and welcome back to the channel. So in the past, I have really refrained from going through my full stock market portfolio. I've mentioned some stocks here and there on the channel, but I've never really made a video going through everything that is in my portfolio. Typically, I've refrained from doing that for a couple of reasons. Basically, I don't want people to copy me just because I am buying something, and I also don't want to submit myself to confirmation bias. I want the ability to be able to change my mind tomorrow on a stock and not have a video out there live on the internet that kind of has me in the back of my mind wanting to stay with an idea longer than I potentially should. But that all changes today, because in this video I'm going to give you my top 5 guaranteed market beating 10x in 1 week high-tech cryptocurrency momentum trading options portfolio, and I'm actually going to give you 4 of those ideas myself, and I'm actually going to leave the 5th and final investment idea to actually be presented to you by a guest who hasn't been on the channel in some time. I'm going to spend basically just a couple of minutes going through the guaranteed thesis on why all of these investments are going to work out absolutely brilliantly throughout this video, and I would love to hear your thoughts on all of these stocks down in the comment section below. But for now, let's get straight into it. Now, the first guaranteed 10x next week market beating high-tech cryptocurrency momentum option trading stock in my portfolio is a business called Sky TV. They are listed on the NZX here in New Zealand, and they are actually the market leader in die-in TV companies. Basically, they have decoders in New Zealanders' houses all around the country, and they have been having a less and less attractive service presented to their customers over a long period of time. Now, the stock has gone down a little bit over the last few years, but I really see this as a big time turnaround play. They are the market leader in die-in TV companies, and in short, that is really my thesis on why I think that this stock is almost certain to outperform over the next several years, and certainly tomorrow. Now, one of the other core parts of my thesis for Sky TV is that really people no longer care about streaming services. They're too expensive, they're too hard to use. Companies like Netflix and Disney Plus and so on are really losing a lot of users at the moment, and that is simply because people are coming across to Sky TV, particularly here in New Zealand. And I think that they are really poised for international expansion. I think that Netflix is unlikely to grow their user count over a long period of time, simply due to the massive competition and hugely successful product that Sky TV is going to launch all around the world. Now, the second market-beating stock in my high-growth 10x guaranteed portfolio is, of course, Hertz. Now, Hertz, many of you will know as a massive leader in rental car companies all around the world. And I'll be the first to admit that Hertz has had a pretty tough time over the past year. And I really have Hertz in the portfolio as a close to guaranteed turnaround position. I really think that Hertz is almost certain to rebound, probably also tomorrow, just like Sky TV's massive international expansion. And I think that you really cannot help but win. Now, the haters will say that Hertz has recently gone bankrupt and that shareholders are going to get zero. I think they're wrong. I think Hertz is going to come out of bankruptcy completely fine, and I actually think these shareholders are poised to get a massive return from that business. Hertz clearly has very little competition in this industry. There are very few rental car players around the world, and it's really a high margin, high return business that you would be silly not to have a part of by owning some of the shares in Hertz company moving forward. Now, the third stock in this portfolio, of course, you probably could have guessed it, that is Gamestop. Now, what more do I need to say about Gamestop rather than diamond hands? Of course, this is the core thesis in behind the Gamestop investment, but let me give you a few of my other insights that I have around this particular company. Now, as you all know, I am a big fan of cloning the great investors. People like Mohnish Pabrai and Warren Buffett, I love to look at what they're investing in and basically copy what those people are doing. And it's a great way to source different investment ideas. Now, when it comes to cloning the great investors, there really is no greater investor than the Wall Street Bets community. Wall Street Bets post some incredibly good ideas. They really take very little risk in order to get a very high return, and that's exactly what I'm looking for in an investment. And that's really the main reason that the GameStop company came onto my radar. Gamestop, of course, is a physical video game retailer that is set up in malls, and what better business to be in. So I don't have too much more to say on Gamestop other than retail is the place to be, selling physical games is the place to be, and when you have shareholders with diamond hands, I don't see how that can possibly go wrong. Now, I only have one more stock idea to present to you before I hand over to a good friend of mine to give you the final position in this guaranteed 10x market-beating high-growth cryptocurrency options trading portfolio. And that investment idea, of course, is Nikola. Now, many of you will know Tesla as a market leader in electric vehicles. Now, Nikola are also in the vehicle industry. They don't make electric vehicles like Tesla, and they don't make internal combustion engine vehicles like many of the traditional automakers. Rather, Nikola is a specialist at rolling a vehicle downhill and having it just powered by gravity in order to make promotional content and raise money for their business. And if there was ever a better business model than a Tesla or a traditional automaker or even something like Hertz, I think that that is it. Now, Nikola is one position in this portfolio that I think is a little bit higher risk than the others. We all know that gravity only really works well for cars when you're going downhill. In order to go uphill, you ideally need to capture actually a bit of momentum from rolling down a hill first before you try and go up a hill. So I think that could be a challenge for them, but I think they can figure that issue out, and I think they're probably going to do it by changing sort of the mass of the Earth around certain parts of the planet in order to kind of customize gravity to work better with some of those underpowered vehicles. So there are 4 of the stocks that I have in my top 5 investments in my portfolio. I'm going to hand over to a guest by the name of Bitcoin Bro in order to present the last investment idea to you. Oh, yo, it's the Bitcoin Bro. So Tom has asked me to present the 5th and final investment idea for this portfolio thing or whatever you call it. And you already know we're going crypto. Like, I've watched some of Tom's videos and he's always gone on about like value investing and Warren Buffett and all this weird stuff, and it's just not a vibe for me. So we're going crypto, and we're going with the Dogecoin. Now, let me give you my 3 top reasons why I think that Dogecoin is going moon. Now, I'm going to keep it simple because that's all I have the ability to do. Now, reason number 1 is dogs. Everyone loves dogs, loves puppies. Reason number 2 is memes. Everyone loves memes. And reason number 3 is diamond hands. Bitcoin Bro out. Well, that is Bitcoin Bro's thesis, and those are my top 5 investments that are high growth, guaranteed to win, super high tech, cryptocurrency, options trading momentum positions, and that's it. Diamond hands.